looks at how much usage are we getting out of something. And if it's not more than 20% of the time, we need access to the thing, not to own it. So, everyone wants to buy every pot and pan and everything in the world, but you may only make that thing one time a year. So maybe you just go borrow it from a neighbor. We got to break down those walls, though. We got to go to the store and buy every single thing that we may ever use. And we need to just think, should I get access to this thing versus owning it? And that goes for things like, all your office supplies in your home office. Do you need to have everything, or can you just walk to your local UPS supply store, ship there, a package there, whatever you need in case you're running some sort of home business? Even owning a bike. I found that for some of the students in our neighborhood, because we live near tech, they were getting their bikes stolen occasionally. And I mentioned to them, why own a bike when you can just get a bike share membership with Relay Bikes, and then you could just use it as you need versus owning a bike, maintaining a bike, all of that. Because when we own a thing, it occupies all aspects of our mind, thinking about the thing, maintaining the thing, using the thing, making sure no one else takes the thing. So ownership is a lot more than people think. It goes beyond the initial acquisition and stays with us through the lifetime of the ownership.
Wow, that is awesome what you just shared. I know a lot of people listening are going to want to learn more about you, learn and read more about your story. Please tell us, how can we gain access to Richard?
Well, if you want to learn more about me and kind of like all the things that I experiment with and challenge myself, you can go to my website, richard-bakare.com /blog if you want to read just the post. But if you want to learn about me, just richard-bakare.com. And that's a great way of just finding out all the things I'm up to, and probably find me on other social media channels like Instagram and things of that nature.
Richard, you have already offered us some great wisdom throughout the entire interview, but with Squat Wisely, we always close out the interview with a wise quote. It can be a quote from yourself or someone that you respect, but tell us that quote and also explain to us why that quote is profound.
So the quote that I'd probably like to share with everyone here is a quote by Da Vinci, and it's something that I've always liked. And the quote goes, "Simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication." And why is this important to me, and why do I think it's profound? I think this quote is profound because it speaks to everything I love about the minimalist philosophy. When you take minimalism and expand on it, minimalism is not about living an easy life, but a well-curated life. And that means in order to simplify our lives and the things around it, we have to apply some very sophisticated analysis into the things we do, the things we buy, how we consume, and how we interact with others. And I think that in the intentionality and the purpose and action that we apply to our everyday living and the things we decide to do, it's going to present as a form of simplicity to everyone else, but it really is representative of all of the intelligent thinking and design that we put into our lives. So that's why I've loved that quote, because it speaks to how I want to approach everything I do.
Awesome. Well, Richard, you have blessed us today with some great wisdom, some great things for us to reflect on, to be wiser and more mindful with our money. And we are thankful for the gift that you've offered us with your time today. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to following all of the future podcasts that you guys drop.
I absolutely loved my interview with Richard Bakare. Richard spells his last name B as in Bravo, A as in Alpha, K as in King, A as in Alpha, R as in Romeo, E as in Edward. Richard Bakare. Great wisdom from him today. A lot of timely information that I feel a lot of us need to hear about. A lot of us are concerned about our finances. A lot of us, truth be told, are the problem because of the things we feel we need, the things we feel we must acquire. So look up Richard, check out his story for yourself, and I'm sure you will gain some more nuggets of wisdom from what he already shared right here on the podcast. Speaking of the podcast, If you are enjoying the podcast, please head over to the Squat Wisely Facebook page. Just look up Squat Wisely and offer our page a like there. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, and you can listen through iHeartRadio. So guys, I always appreciate your listenership. I'll be back next time, of course, to do this all over again.
Get a world-class motivational speaker to your next event. Kristen Hester offers professional speaking services in Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond. To hire Kristen, visit www.kristenspeaks.com. Kristen.
You've been listening to the Squat Wisely podcast. Professor Kristen Hester is a philosophy professor, fitness professional, and motivational speaker. For well over a decade, she's led philosophy courses within the university system of Georgia. Kristen leads group fitness classes in Atlanta, as well as leading one-on-one personal training sessions. She strengthens the body as well as the mind. We'll see you next time on the Squat Wisely podcast with Professor Kristen Hester.